update on Tattooed Chef. I did this like 9 days ago, but anyways, one of the latest conferences, I'm going to do a quick update on. It was June 22nd. So there are 35 brands in Tattooed Chef's core categories with 30 SKUs or more, while 20% of these SKUs on average do 80% of the revenues. This leaves a huge market opportunity for Tattooed Chef to disrupt with its more productive SKUs. Target said the launch of the Entree Bowl line was the most successful frozen food launch in the history of Target, meaning this study, amongst others, proves that Tattooed Chef has way more productive SKUs, and the data points that prove this, amongst other things, offer selling points which will allow them to tremendously grow the amount of SKUs in a given store on average, the amount of stores they're in, and points of distribution. I like to say my companies don't just sell products and or services, but outcomes just as much. Financial Edutainment Volume 2, plant-based position product, and I quote, plant-based position products in the categories in which we compete are actually still growing 20% year over year. That's a quote by Matt Williams, CGO, or Chief Growth Officer, said. I'm very excited about Matt Williams, and he seems very excited about the company, always throwing out amazing data points that it just gets me even more excited about the company and all these conferences. This means the broader market they're in is growing literally like a growth stock. So the combination of the fact that they're in this market and disrupting this market should consistently lead to high growth rates of revenues, of course, but also the fundamentals as a percentage of sales for sure. Now, January 2021 to May 16th, dollars per store on the 2 SKUs with smoothie bowls were up 34%. So what is it, like 4, 5, 6 or so? I don't know, like 4 or 5 months or something like that. It's up 34% in that short period of time. Massive, okay? And they're in like basically all Targets and 99% of targets across the country. The 17 SKUs authorized, of course. Largest category they're in is frozen meals and entrees category. They launched 8 entree bowls and 5 family meals. Tattooed Chef is the #1 brand in dollars selling per store at like $19.60 for the latest 4 weeks. So they're outselling all these major brands. This is a great case study with Target and everything. Amy's, Stouffer's, however you pronounce it, and the likes on a dollars per store selling basis. So also the new acquisition, they gave a little bit more data and points on there. So they said new acquisition could be the market in 3 to 4 months. Probably the first items will be handheld based burritos using plant-based tortillas, and then with plant-based meats and vegan cheeses. Sam thinks the tortilla industry can be a huge opportunity. He speaks on more of this in the conference. He seems very excited about it, and way more excited. He says he's way more excited than he previously thought. He thinks it's going to be massive. He even talks about how, they have so many opportunities, but he just can't grab in all of them. He has to manage them. He has to manage it perfectly and really, disrupt it and be focused. Okay, so Tattooed Chef, he also says, could produce up to 70 million pounds of tortillas a year in his plan if they want it. Do some quick math on that. So you see Mission Flour Tortillas, Soft Taco Twin Pack. It's a 2-pack or whatever, and it's 63 ounces. So there's 16 ounces in 1 pound. And double check this. We can go here. 16 ounces in 1 pound. So if you do some quick math using this handy dandy calculator, you get 63 ounces divided by 16 ounces, which is 1 pound. It's about 3.93 pounds. And then, I think that, 3.9375 pounds. And then you take 70 million pounds, which they think they can produce, which we saw like right here, a year annually. So you see that? Oh, I guess. Sorry. I don't know. I'm going to have to read it, sorry. So anyway, 70 million pounds divided by 3.93, that gets 178 that's like how many dollars, I think. Or no, that's not how many dollars. I don't know what that is. But anyways, that's what you get. Then you multiply that times the dollars per pack with this thing, which is like $4.98 is what I saw. It's not on there, but that's what I saw. And so then you get about $89 million in revenues from that. But then you multiply it times 2 since it's a 2-pack. You get about $180 million in revenues. And then remember, I used 3.93. I didn't use just 3.9375, so I was kind of conservative there. And and then they have brand and everything. So yeah, I think this kind of shows how you can get to lots of revenue from this. Really seeing that everything seems really is possible. So then, how are they controlling costs? How are they diminishing risk and concerns? Well, they're controlling costs through vertical integration. These risks that they can't really control, they're trying to control it as best as possible, of course, through vertical integration. They're locking in prices as much as humanly possible. And then they have a great balance sheet that buys time, which allows them to buy time to evaluate what's coming towards them. And then there's other significant things in this conference that I didn't mention because it's pretty much repeated for the most part. But I mean, there's lots of great data points and of things thrown to us in that conference, in the Jeffries conference, which was on June 22nd, which I thought I'd share with you. If you like this video, consider subscribing.